you know, I just, like you said, I watched this ruckus on Twitter. And I was like, what?
Majority draw, and you can argue that Manny Pacquiao should have won the fight and was winning.
He was still good at it. I think he was stealing some rounds at the end. Whether he deserved them or he didn't deserve them, whatever, they were close rounds. He might have stolen them on the judge's card.
Shannon Sharpe didn't hold back in his criticism of the WBC following the controversial draw between Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios. He slammed the decision, calling it a clear injustice after what he viewed as a dominant performance by Pacquiao. Sharpe pointed out that Barrios lacked urgency and failed to bring the energy expected from a younger, active fighter. In contrast, Pacquiao controlled the pace, landed cleaner shots, and looked like the superior boxer throughout. For Sharpe, the draw was more than just a bad call, it was a reflection of a deeper issue in boxing. He argued that the sport has drifted away from fair competition and into the territory of business-first decisions, where marketability matters more than merit.
Why would I take a chance? Why would I take a chance and fight somebody for $30 million? And that's what these guys do. And the difference is between boxing and UFC, you might be the champion, but you don't control anything.
Mario Barrios' recent run has ignited serious debate across the boxing world. Back-to-back draws in his last two outings have raised eyebrows, but it's his latest bout against Manny Pacquiao that truly stirred the pot. Many fans and analysts walked away convinced Pacquiao had done more than enough to win, yet the judges saw it differently. The result didn't just disappoint, it cast doubt on the fairness of recent scorecards and left the boxing community questioning how victories are really decided in today's game.
Back on the Weight Concept presented by the Ring Magazine. And folks, I just watched Manny Pacquiao, that's right, 8-division world champion and 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao, off a 3-year layoff Manny Pacquiao, off a loss before the 3-year layoff Manny Pacquiao, go to a majority draw with a world champion in a title fight in 2025. What the just happened? Breakdown. Let's go.
Here's the star of the Weight Concept.
So like I said, Manny Pacquiao, 2025, fighting for a world championship is not something you expect me to hear. Number one, especially off the 3-year layoff, especially at 147, especially off a loss, and especially not going to a majority draw. This is a win for Manny Pacquiao. I'm just going to say it. Tonight he fought Mario Barrios on PBC, on Amazon Prime Video for the WBC World Championship. Mario Barrios, I like the guy. It has to be said, when you have two of your last title defenses ending in a split draw and a majority draw, you may be the worst title holder in boxing right now. I'm sorry. That's not comparing him to being a shitty boxer. It's just saying that as of right now, he might be the worst world champion in boxing and maybe one of the worst I've seen in a while. So kind of unrelated, this kind of looks bad for Tank Davis's record because that was supposed to be a stalwart win on Tank's career when he moved up to 140 and beat Barrios for the belt there. But now it's not looking so good because 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao just went to a majority draw, and you can argue that Manny Pacquiao should have won the fight and was winning.
Alright, we're back with the Wade Concept, presented by the Ring Magazine. And folks, I just watched something that needs to be talked about. Manny Pacquiao, yes, the 8-division world champion, the legend, the 46-year-old, just stepped into the ring after a 3-year layoff, coming off a loss, and fought to a majority draw in a 2025 world title fight. Let that sink in. This wasn't supposed to happen. A man his age, with that much time out of the ring, walking back into a world championship bout at 147 pounds, and not only holding his own but arguably winning? That's a W for Pacquiao no matter what the judges said. Tonight, he faced Mario Barrios live on PBC via Amazon Prime Video for the WBC welterweight title. And let me be honest, I like Barrios, but we need to talk. When your last two title defenses end in a split draw and now a majority draw, one of them against a 46-year-old coming off a long layoff, it's hard to argue you're a legitimate world champion. You might be holding a belt, but based on performance alone, Barrios may be the weakest title holder in boxing right now. That's not to say Barrios is a bad fighter. But if we're ranking world champions based on output, control, and danger in the ring, he's near the bottom. And here's another angle. This doesn't exactly make Gervonta Tank Davis's resume look better. Remember, Tank's win over Barrios at 140 was supposed to be a signature moment. But now, after seeing Pacquiao outclass Barrios at 46, That win looks a lot less impressive in hindsight. In short, Pacquiao may not have gotten the official decision, but make no mistake, tonight, he reminded the world that he's still a force, even in his 40s.
Is rough to watch if you're a Barrios. If you're a Manny Pacquiao fan, this is a fantastic night. And you can even argue maybe he should have got the belt. But I think where this fight became more close was in the later rounds when Pacquiao, obviously, close to being an AARP member, was going to slow down. And if your game plan, if you're Mario Barrios, is to go, okay, I'm just going to outlast him. Eventually, he's going to slow down. One, it's psychotic to me to even think, I'll wait for the 46-year-old to slow down in the later rounds. Not, I'm going to go and do what I should do as a champion and go after this guy. Respect be damned. It's a world championship fight. I saw some people saying, oh, he's carrying Manny out of
The outcome has sparked growing skepticism, with many supporters questioning whether something questionable is happening behind the scenes. For Pacquiao fans, the night was a testament to his timeless skill and unshakable spirit, a celebration of a legend defying expectations. But for Barrios' supporters, the performance was underwhelming and seemed salvaged only by a generous call from the judges. Instead of a defining moment for the sport, the result left a bitter aftertaste, tainting what could have been a memorable night in boxing history.
Because like
weird rounds,
Pacquiao did better than I thought he did, and that's like we get into that weird territory in boxing where you start grading on a curve. It's not how boxing works. And I was like, oh, Pacquiao's doing better. He's probably winning. Oh, he won. No, he probably didn't. And the draw is he's probably lucky to get a draw.
Yeah, as I was watching and scoring it, and I was in the live chat with people, and there was just so many rabid Pacquiao fans that were like, every time he did anything, first of all, anytime he did anything in the arena, the place went absolutely bonkers, like it was going to tear down. Honestly, he probably fought 50 to 60 seconds a round. He did not do much. He didn't need to, because Barrios didn't step on the gas pedal at all at any point. He was so listless and just kind of like ho-humming through it. So Pacquiao was able to steal moments, and he did a really good job of stealing the end of rounds and making an exclamation point. And also, we saw flashes of the Manny of old when he would have that little like the flourishing signature on the end of something. He'd make that little movement, bang, he'd pop that left hand, he'd fly out, boom, 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 boom. He'd make those little moves, he'd do the fancy feet, and you would be like, but really nothing happened. He didn't land a lot of punches. Like, it wasn't like anything really effective. But it got everybody emotional, it got everybody, and whereas Barrios was the exact opposite. Everything he did was so workmanlike. He has zero charisma. He has no sell on anything he does. He just lacked passion. I know he's Aztec warrior, but where was the passion? Where was the exchanging? Where was the biting down my mouth and going for it? So there was a lot of opportunities based on how both guys fought for Manny to actually steal rounds, because Mario wasn't selling it. Pacquiao was. The crowd was behind him. But yes, when you do it, you're looking at it almost like comparing Pacquiao to Pacquiao, being like, oh, he fought really good for a 46-year-old. He didn't fight really good for a 12-round main event champion. He fought really good for a 46-year-old Pacquiao. So you get that idea in your head, like, oh man, he's doing so good, but is he really? Or are you just voting for the guy that you like better?
Like, nostalgia is a hell of a, and we were all on Saturday night.
Criticism of Mario Barrios has intensified after his underwhelming performance in the ring. Despite the official draw, many fans and analysts felt he was clearly outclassed. Barrios looked hesitant and overly cautious, failing to generate any real offense or take control at any point in the fight. His low punch output and lack of urgency stood in stark contrast to what's expected from a world champion. While the scorecard spared him a loss on paper, his passive approach made it feel like a moral defeat. In comparison, Pacquiao looked sharper, more focused, and far more prepared, outworking Barrios in nearly every round. The controversial decision appeared to protect Barrios from a deserved loss, sparking widespread frustration and disbelief across the boxing community.
I don't know where to start. So first of all, why do they keep robbing Manny Pacquiao? He got robbed against Bradley.
But I hear from everybody that he got robbed.
You trust Paulie Malignaggi. He said they robbed Pacquiao.
You know what?
He got robbed with your
That's even weird, because you see, like the way boxing is, the business is. I'm not saying promoters. It's the same thing with this. The business where you want, like when you have that one fighter that, like when you have a young prospect that are central, like managers, judges and commissioners, they already know who's the one that signed, who's the one they want to promote. Yeah. So there's a lot of times where those young fighters get away with wins.
Renowned trainer Robert Garcia added fuel to the ongoing debate with a blunt and honest take on the controversy. He pointed out that modern boxing is driven more by business than sport, where financial interests often outweigh fairness in the ring. Garcia suggested that decisions, especially in high-profile fights, are increasingly influenced by marketability. Younger fighters like Barrios are seen as long-term investments, and their commercial potential can take precedence over actual performance. In Garcia's view, a 46-year-old Pacquiao winning doesn't offer the same future value to promoters, which may explain why close fights seem to consistently tilt against him.
Why do you keep doing this? The man is doing this. Manny Pacquiao. It's crazy. Hey there, welcome. It's Coffee with the Goose. I'm excited to have you with me again. You know, I talk about things that are interesting, fascinating, and in this case, very irritating. I'm the Goose. We'll start with a little coffee. As you know, my coffee is very strong, like my opinion, and of course, there's a creamer in there to make it sweet. Okay, I'm not happy. I'll be honest with you. We all have our views of what happened during the Pacquiao-Mario Barrios fight. We all have our views. We all have our opinions. I think whether you're a Pacquiao fan or Barrios fan, you're not happy either. Shouldn't be. It was not a good show. First of all, I'll give props to Mario Barrios. He's the whipping boy for some reason. People are saying, well, he's the champion. He should have been a little more aggressive and come after Pacquiao a little more and should, be happy with the draw. I'm sure he's not happy with the draw. That's 2 in a row for him, by the way. But, in Barrios' defense, he's fighting Manny Pacquiao. So I think he was maybe a little psyched out. I really think most of Pacquiao's opponents are. It's the past man. You should be a little afraid. And Jude and I think we agreed during the fight that both of these guys, at some point, they're acting like they're afraid of each other. It's a weird fight. I'm not happy. Nobody should be happy with the draw. But let's get on to bigger and, not better things. Let's just get to reality, okay? It's corruption in boxing. Nothing new. Seen this before. But why does it seem to happen? Why is Manny Pacquiao the victim so often, as opposed to other fighters where it may happen once or twice? Did Pacquiao win? It was a very close fight. I had Pacquiao leading after 9 rounds, and the championship rounds, I think Barrios took 2 of those 3 rounds. So very tight fight.
There's so much to unpack here. First and foremost, why does Manny Pacquiao keep getting robbed? Fans have been asking for that for years. From the controversial decision against Timothy Bradley to the baffling outcome against Jeff Horn and now Mario Barrios, many believe Pacquiao has been on the wrong end of far too many questionable calls. Even respected voices in the sport, like Pauli Malignaggi, have gone on record saying Manny was robbed. When people across the boxing world, fans, analysts, even fellow fighters, are all saying the same thing, it's hard to ignore. Adding another layer to this growing frustration, a veteran known as the Goose recently voiced what many have long suspected, that Pacquiao may be unfairly targeted. He didn't just blame promoters, he pointed to a deeper problem in the system. According to him, when young, marketable fighters are signed to major promoters or management teams, the judges and commissioners often know exactly who the preferred winner is supposed to be. And more often than not, the scorecards reflect that narrative, regardless of what happens in the ring. But what makes this pattern more troubling is the question of bias. The Goose suggested that Manny's treatment may stem from something deeper than business, his background. As an Asian fighter from the Philippines, Pacquiao might not receive the same benefit of the doubt that British or American fighters do. It's a painful possibility, but one that resonates with many of his supporters. Despite his legendary achievements and global popularity, they feel Pacquiao continues to be judged more harshly, held to a different standard, and denied the respect he's earned. This perception of unequal treatment isn't just a theory, it's a feeling that's been building for over a decade. And now, with each new controversy, that frustration is boiling over, calling into question the very integrity of boxing itself.
Think last night, was it a draw or you thought your brother won?
My brother win.
Yeah.
You know that. Too many people, the crowd is gonna be saying, "Oh, what happened?"
Shakur Stevenson, Andre Ward, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, they all said Manny Pacquiao won. Why do you think the judges saw it the other way for the draw?
I'm long time. I'm a fighter also. I'm a fighter. 14 years in the ring, or 13 years in the ring. But I know the score, you know they score so many judges, but I'm surprised that the decision is like that, you know. I'm surprised, but anyway, the judges decision is now, let's accept, we'll accept that.
Bobby Pacquiao, Manny's brother, joined the chorus of disbelief following the controversial draw, echoing the frustration felt across the boxing world. Visibly stunned by the decision, Bobby admitted he couldn't comprehend what the judges were watching to arrive at such a verdict. In his eyes, Manny had clearly done enough to earn a decisive victory. Though disheartened, Bobby acknowledged the harsh truth of modern boxing. Sometimes, no matter how dominant a performance may seem, the outcome is out of the fighter's hands. "We have no choice but to accept it," he said, words that carried both disappointment and quiet resignation. His reaction reflected the sentiment of countless fans who watched the same fight and came to the same conclusion. For them, it wasn't just a bad decision. It was a reminder of how unpredictable and, at times, disheartening the sport can be.